Department of Zoology, would like to welcome you all to today's career counseling session, Entrance 101. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our guest speaker for today's session, Atheena Abhayakumar. She's a Miranda House alumna of Batch 2022, a meritorious scholarship holder, and most recently, an incoming graduate student at IISC Bangalore, one of the most reputed research institutes in India. She secured All India rank 295 in IIT JAM and All India rank 15 in Graduate Aptitude Test Biotechnology. She will be pursuing Masters in Life Sciences with a specialization in microbiology and infectious diseases. And in today's session, she will be talking about various entrance exams after B.Sc and the preparation strategies for the same. Without wasting any further time, I would like to invite her to start with the session.
Hi guys, thank you Chaitanya for that introduction. I'll try presenting my screen now. So just tell if it's visible, and I'll switch off my camera so that there's no issue with the bandwidth. Can you see my presentation?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's visible.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing good. And firstly, I would like to thank Synapse for giving me this opportunity to feel back home with all my lovely juniors. And yeah, because if you people were not there, and if I didn't get such a good environment in Miranda, I would not have reached where I am today. So, as you all have seen in the poster, my task today is to talk about various entrance exams in India. So, as we reach towards the end of our undergraduation, we all have this question in our mind: what next? So, on a broader scale, we have two options. Either you can continue in the field of science, or you can choose something different, like you can maybe go for MBA or Masters in Arts. And I'm not the right person to comment on the second option, so I will stick on to the first part. So what I'm showing now, it's not an absolute map, but and there are n number of options after B.Sc other than what are listed here. But sticking on to our topic, I'll take you along these two routes. So after B.Sc, you can either directly enter into integrated PhD, or you can do MSc first and then PhD. And there are other options like teaching as well. So this decision between integrated PhD and or MSc, that completely depends upon you. So compared to the first option, this integrated PhD, it's a little less flexible. So in my case, I got selected for integrated PhD in ISR and JNCSR, but I chose to do MSc from IISC. Now, let's move on to our main topic, entrance exams. So these are few of the main hurdles, which you can say that you have to pass to get admission in good institutes in India. So let's talk about them individually. Now I'll talk about these entrance exams and the pattern and yeah, basically stuffs like that. So differ. This is conducted by Tata Institute, and for biology, this exam is known as JG Bills Joint Graduate Entrance Exam for Biology and Interdisciplinary Life Sciences. So this is generally held in the month of December. That is, if you are in a 3-year B.Sc program, this exam will be during your 5th semester. And on qualifying this, you can gain admission to integrated PhD and MSc by research. So there are a lot of participating institutes, and among them, the main ones are NCBS, TIFR Hyderabad, and TIFR Mumbai. So here on this slide, I'm mainly focusing on the JG bills. So there are four sections. First section is the general aptitude test, and then here we have biology, physics, and chemistry. And each section carries equal weightage. You have 15 questions from each section, and yeah, there are a total of 60 questions. And for biology and maths, the duration of the exam is 2 hours. For chemistry and physics, you have 3 hours. IIT JAM. I think everyone would have heard about this exam. This is conducted by one of the participating IITs, and this is basically a 3 hour long exam, and it is divided into three sections. So in section A, there is a total of 30 multiple choice questions. The first 10 questions have 1 mark each, and the second 20 questions they carry 2 mark each. And only this section carries negative mark. In section B and section C, there is no negative marking. Section B is multiple selective question. That is, each question can have multiple and like it has more than one answer. And to get marks, you need to select all the correct options. There is no partial marking and no negative marking. And the final section, that is section C, is numerical answer type questions. There are a total of 20 questions, and the first 10 questions have 1 mark each, and the second 10 questions have 2 mark each. And this also doesn't have any negative marking. But here you have to be careful while entering your answers. And you need to make sure that if they have mentioned anything like you need to take into consideration of the significant figures and things like that. So only if you enter it to the correct point, correct value, you get mark for this. Now GAT-B. So graduate aptitude test in biotechnology, it is conducted by NTA. And I would say compared to TIFR and JAM, this is a relatively easy paper. So this exam has two sections. Section A with 60 MCQ from PCMB of 10 plus 2 level, and section B with 100 MCQs, out of which you need to do only 60. And that is a total of 120 questions, and the duration is 3 hours for 120 questions. And this exam, it's a golden opportunity to get into IIT Indore if you have messed up your jam. And there are around 100 plus institutes which are participating in this. Now, AIMS. AIMS New Delhi offers MSc in biotechnology. So this exam is basically conducted by AIMS itself, and the duration is 90 minutes for 90 questions. That is 1 minute per question. And this is a highly competitive exam considering the ratio of the number of candidates to the number of seats. And I've heard that there's also an MSc in biochemistry course which is offered by AIMS Rishikesh. Yeah. Now coming on to our Delhi University entrance test, which is also conducted by NTA. So here the exam pattern, it varies depending upon the paper. But the general scheme is that it's a 2 hour long paper of multiple choice questions, and each question carries 4 mark, a negative marking of 1, and the language is English. Yeah, like so basically it varies. The number of question varies depending upon the paper that you're going to take. And even with Central University entrance test, uh, the pattern of questions and number of question, it varies depending upon the paper that you are opting for. And recently, because of lot of changes, and JNU and BHU have also come into this exam, and the actual exam pattern is not available in the official website. So yeah, let's wait till September 10th of this month, because that's when the CUET of this year is going to be held. So after that, we'll get a proper idea regarding that. And the last two institutes which I've mentioned, that is National Institute of Virology, Pune, and National Forensic Science University, they have their separate exams. So this National Institute of Virology, it offers a course in MSc Virology, And National Forensic Science Institute, it has a course in MSc Forensic Biotechnology. So these are actually really good courses if you wish to pursue research in these fields, and they have their separate entrance exams, and these are highly competitive exams because the number of seats are very less. Like I think there are only 10 seats in these institutes. So yeah, these were the important and main entrances that you have. Now let's have a look at the main participating institutes. So IISC, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, they have two main programs. One is MSc and the other is integrated PhD. And of course, there is PhD and postdoctoral. But after B.Sc, these are the two main things that you can get into. And they accept students based on their JAM and GATE rank and score. So uh, in IIT JAM, they consider the score, but for GATE, they are taking the GATE. Sorry, IIT JAM, it's based on the rank, and GATE is based on the score. So each year they release a particular cutoff rank or cutoff score, and if you are under this, you under that particular rank or score, you can apply. And there is a first level shortlisting based on the rank, and there's a second level screening test, which is conducted by IISc, followed by the in-person interview. And then in IITs, based on the JAM rank, you can directly apply to that. And if you have good ranks, you get into it. And if you're planning to appear for IIT JAM Biotechnology, you need to understand that there are only three IITs that are offering bio-related courses. So the number of seats is really less. And if you need to get into any one of these, you need to have a really good JAM score, a JAM rank, sorry. And regarding ICERS, ICER Pune, ICER Pune accepts only through TIFR score. So if you clear TIFR exam, you can get you can apply for ICER Pune. But the other ICERs, they are accepting based on JAM and TIFR scores. You need to apply for each of these institutes separately. So you need to be vigilant after the JAM score is out or the TIFR score is out. You need to keep checking these websites and apply for that. And even here, some of them they have a screening test and interview followed by interview. So these will be in-person interview. You'll have to go to these respective ICERs and give your interview there. And NITs also accept admission from JAM, but the channel for counseling is different. The NITs For NITs it's CCMN, it's a separate channel. So once the counseling for IITs are over, the CCMN channel opens and you can apply to NITs. And JNCSI, which is Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, this is also located in Bangalore. So this institute offers integrated PhD based on JAM rank. So first they shortlist you based on your JAM rank, and then there is a screening test by JNCSR. If you qualify that, there are two rounds of interview which you need to pass, and yeah, that's how you get admission. And in RCB, which is RCB admits through GAT-B, but you have to apply for this separately. Like even before the GAT-B rank is out, you have to go to the website. Like you need to keep look on the website when they release the notification. So you have to apply beforehand, even before the GAT-B results are out. You have to apply there. And once the result is out, and if you have a good rank, they shortlist and they send you an email for your interview. And TIFR or NCBS, as I've already mentioned, they take students who have qualified the TIFR or the JG bills, and they have integrated PhD and MSc in research. And TIFR, IISc, and JNCSR. So these three are really good institutes if you uh, wish to pursue a career in research. So they have all the facilities and they have the best faculties who can give you good guidance. Yeah, apart from that, central universities, there are a lot of central universities which are participating in the CUET. So once you get a good rank in that, you can apply to them. And yeah, state university, depending on which state you people are coming from, there are a lot of state university, good state universities where you can apply to. Uh, yeah, so that's all about the general information and the entrance part. So now I'll briefly touch upon the preparation strategies. We all know that hard work is important, but what is more important is smart work. While preparing for exams, we need to keep that in mind. So, first, before starting, make your own schedule and organize your study time. So, you focus on what you intend to achieve. That is, if it's jam biotechnology that you want to clear, look at the syllabus, list out the important topics, and decide how you would like to allot time for each and study accordingly. Sometimes some of the topics might be overlapping with your college course. So, then dedicate less time for that and give more time for some difficult subjects. Another important thing that helped me a lot is my note making habit. So I used to make detailed notes on everything by referring to the suggested books. So this helped me a lot in my entrances and interview. Making your own notes actually help you to understand the concepts. And apart from the IITs and NITs, if you want to get admission anywhere else, you have to clear interview. So, and it will be difficult for you if you just learn things by heart, if you just mug up things without understanding the concepts. And that's actually one of the reason why some of the people who have good ranks, they fail to get into institutes like IISC, JNCSR, and differ. Now, to understand the concept, you need to read a lot. But now the question arises, do I have time for that? Mostly, we get very little time for preparation after the college assignments, tests, and practical file works. So, what now? I would suggest group study. So, this need not generally be sitting in groups and teaching each other. So, you can also divide the topics among your friends, make detailed notes on each topic, and share with each other so that like they can study on their own whenever they wish to, but you have a detailed note of everything. So this will reduce the burden on an individual and you will get good quality notes. Fortunately, I had a good bunch of friends with whom I could do this, and this has helped me a lot to score in my semester exams and as well as for the entrances and interviews. So most of the people do the preparation part, but they often mess it up by overthinking. Thoughts like, what if I don't succeed? Like, I will not finish studying. These things frequently come to our mind. And all that we need to understand is that don't overthink till the exam is over. Just do whatever you can till then. Don't waste your time by overthinking. You can do the brainstorming about your possibilities after the exam, but not before that. Finally, one more important thing which we all forget. We forget to praise ourselves. We always feel that we are not capable of achieving things. So we need to stop thinking this way and have we need to learn to find happiness in small things. You finished practicing 10 problems, then be happy. You get good marks in one test, be happy. So just praise yourself enough because it helps you to be confident and it helps you to face the exams confidently. So apart from the study tips, there are a few exam tips that I would like to share. So this isn't anything new, but yeah, still. So practice previous year questions. So sometimes some questions may come repeatedly, or another thing with practicing the previous year questions is you get an idea on how to read a particular part, like what kind of question might come from a particular portion, and know your exam pattern thoroughly. So there are a lot of exams, and the pattern and the kind of questions that might come, they may be different. So make sure that before you go for an exam, know the exam pattern properly. Don't sit there in the exam hall and try to make sense at that time. Just be thorough with the exam pattern before, and allow time wisely for each section. So in most of the exams, they might be a separate section for aptitude. So some of you might need little less time for that. Some of you might need more time for the physics section. So allot time wisely. Just keep a track of time and solve the questions in the easy part fast, and dedicate more time for the difficult sections. And take an account of negative marking. So in exams like JAM, you just have negative marking in the section A. Section B and section C, you don't have negative marking. So you can just play around with section B and section C. So in section C, if you don't know a particular answer and it doesn't have negative section C, which is numerical answer type, so you can maybe just try your luck by typing a random number. But just don't take the stance in the case of section A because it has negative marking. So before going for an exam, just make sure that you know which section has negative marking, which section doesn't have. And if you have time and if you wish to try your luck, just try your luck in the section that doesn't have a negative marking. Sometimes, even if you get 2 marks, that might bring a drastic change in your rank. And then familiarize yourself with mock test. So before going to the exam hall or exam center, just just attempt few mock tests. And like, yeah, as I've said before, just don't use make use of that time in the exam hall to make sense of how the test is, how there are different sections and stuff. So just attend mock test and read the questions thoroughly. So they can be tricky questions and they can be simple questions. And they can be questions like select which of the following is not true. So we might not read the not part, we might just see the true part. So in cases like that, we might lose easy marks. So read the questions thoroughly. Yeah, that's what I have to share from my part. And thank you all for listening. I hope I didn't do a bad job.
Thank you so much, Atheena, for this wonderful session. I would like to ask the participants to post their queries in the chat box. And meanwhile, we will take the questions that we got from the Google Forms. So,
Sure.
There's a question from Suman, and this is like the basic question. Everyone have this question in their mind, that what if someone is has not pursued maths in their 11th and 12th standard? So, are they still eligible for the entrance of IISc, that is IIT JAM for biotechnology? And if they are eligible, how should they prepare for this exam?
Okay, so there is no issue with the eligibility. You are eligible to appear for IIT JAM Biotechnology. There is no issue with that. But yeah, preparation, even if you haven't taken maths in your class 12th and 11th and 12th, that's not an issue because the syllabus is actually defined. So you just need to study those parts which are defined in the syllabus. So if you feel that you haven't had maths, maybe you can join for a coaching or you can study on your own. It's just the basics. Like what happened this year was that even though there were a lot of topics mentioned in the syllabus for max, they didn't ask anything in detail. So it depends on each year. It depends on which IIT is putting the question. So yeah, like it's not necessary that you need max. It's not like there's no issue with the eligibility, and the rest of the thing it's in your hand. You can just take coaching or you can prepare yourself, and you can just look which topics are important, which have more weightage, and you can prepare accordingly. And yes, sometimes they ask questions from Max also during the interview. So yeah, for me, yeah, they did ask questions. They just say some random numbers and the random situation, and they asked us to find the probability and permutation. And yeah, so it's good that you study it beforehand, but there's no issue with the eligibility.
Okay, I hope this suffices the answer of Suman. So the next question is from Janice. She asked which one is better, doing MSc in India or abroad. So have you first thought about pursuing your masters from abroad, or was it instead that you have to continue it from India?
So in my case, I was sure that I wanted MSc from India. Even PhD, I actually want to do it here only. That's what I feel. But yeah, PhD right now, I am not taking any hard decision. But yes, MSc, I wanted to do it from India only, and I haven't actually you know thought much about going abroad. And so yeah, I think I would not be the right person to comment on the other part because I haven't, you know, done much of research on that. So,
Okay, and next question is from just a minute. Okay, so next question is from Vedanti. So she has asked that what is the level of questions that is asked in physics and chemistry background? Like, is it 11th and 12th based? I hope you have answered this question in your PPT. But kindly let us know what is the level of questions that is usually asked in physics and chemistry, and how should we prepare it during
okay,
our college
so
days?
this is for which exam, for JAM or for GAT?
Uh, you can just answer both.
Okay, so in the case of JAM, for chemistry, it's 10 plus 2 plus 3 level if you're uh, appearing for JAM biotechnology, and physics and max is just 10 plus 2 level. In the case of GAT-B, physics, chemistry, and max is 10 plus 2 level. That's what I've already said in the section A. You have questions from PCMB, and these are from just from 10 plus 2 level. But in the case of biotechnology, for chemistry, it's till B.Sc level. You need to know the topics. It's 10 plus 2 plus 3 level for chemistry. But for physics and max, you just need to know till your class 12, those topics. I hope this was for JAM biotechnology because for chemistry and maths and physics, it's different. I mean, the JAM.
Another question. Yeah, and next question is from Anushka Pawar. So she's asking about the possible career opportunities after a graduation.
So, possible career opportunities. Yeah, you can appear for SSC exams or PSC exams in your particular state. Yeah.
The next question is from Damayanti.
Uh,
So she's asking, apart from subject-based questions, what else may be asked in the interview?
So, interview they ask application-based questions. Like they might give you a random situation, and they might ask, "How would you find a solution for this?" So basically, so the thing is that we can't study it. There is stuck. There we don't have any defined syllabus, so it uh, mostly depends upon the person who's going to interview you. So they generally prefer to ask questions from their specialization. So that's what happened here. So there were three panels. So in each panel there are different members. So they might ask question from yours, their own specialization. And the application level questions are asked a lot. So like in my case, they just asked me to design, and they gave me a particular situation, and they told me to design a neural circuit on board. So yeah, and they don't ask anything. Mostly, it will be related to the subject, related to their subject, or stuff like that, application based, and not anything apart from that.
Okay, thank you, Dee. And now the question is from my side. Like, since we are offline now, what would you suggest, like, how to make the best use of our college-based learning?
Okay, so what I would like to say is that SEM 5 topics, most of this fifth SEM topics and the sixth SEM topics for this zoology course, they are actually really important. The topics like biotechnology, molecular biology, and these have a lot of weightage. So just try studying it right now. Like listen to the class properly, do it thoroughly. As I've already said, some topics will be overlapping. So don't keep just don't waste your time by keeping a separate like by allotting a separate time for that. Study it right now itself while you're preparing the notes. Just keep in mind that yeah, I need this for the entrance also, so I'll study it thoroughly. So most what that's what helped me, because I didn't to be honest, I didn't have much time to practice all the questions and stuffs, but i I had this habit of making a detailed notes and studying, so that actually helped me a lot. So even if you are not but even if you're not consciously studying for the entrance, but if you study well for your semester exam, that helps you a lot. And we are actually fortunate because the syllabus of DU is such that it helps us to clear most of the entrance exam. Like most of the topics that we need are covered. So like even the topics like ecology, like for the jam that happened this year, there were a lot of questions from ecology. So every topic is important. So just while you're studying it, study it thoroughly, and especially give focus to the SEM fifth and SEM six topics. They are really important.
Okay, thank you, Dee. The next question is from Vanshika. So she is a botany student and she's asking how much they have to prepare for the zoology part and vice versa. Since it's complete biology syllabus put to 10 plus 3 level, like how much you have prepared for botany.
Okay, so basically, if you check the website, they have mentioned the things topic wise. Even for biology, they have separated it into different headings, that from botany part, what you have to study, from zoology part, what you have to study. So you can prepare according to that. To what extent they ask, that we can't actually guess or even comment on that. But in botany, like I prepare topics like photosynthesis and then metabolism part, and yeah, plant taxonomy. So these are certain things that I gave focus on and prepared. So actually you can just go through the syllabus. It's a detailed syllabus for jam. You can just go through that and it will be there. But for tiffer and yagb, they don't have a for tiffer they don't have a you know, defined syllabus. Even if you check the website, they say general biology. You don't have a defined syllabus. So in such cases, that might be difficult. But for jam, luckily you have a really well defined subject, so you can prepare it accordingly. And please read the reference books that are mentioned in the syllabus. That will help you a lot. Don't completely define on the PPTs that the teachers are providing, because they'll be good to score, they'll be easy marks, but on a long run, that might not help.
I hope that answers your question, Vanshika. Are there any more queries? You may put it in the check box or you may unmute and ask. Okay, so I would like to call Damayanti Das Gupta to deliver the vote of thanks for this session.
Hello, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of the entire Synapse Union, would like to thank our speaker Atheena Abhayakumar for gracing this event and sharing with us this really important information. Thank you, Athena Di, for giving your precious time to us, even despite your busy classes schedule and everything. It was really informative and useful session for us, and it will be immensely useful, especially for our batch in near future. So, thank you so much for giving us the detailed information on all the entrances. I would also take this opportunity to thank our principal, Dr. Vijayalakshmi Nanda ma'am, for providing us the opportunity to organize this session. Also, Dr. Nisha Vishisht ma'am and Dr. Yasha Yadav ma'am for the support and guidance. I would like to extend my thanks to the President, Vice President, General Secretary, event managers, and all other union members of Synapse for successfully organizing this event. And last but not the least, our audience for being with us throughout the session and participating in the question and answer session. Thank you so much, everybody, for making this session a success.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, G, for joining. Thanks a lot. I would request the participants to please fill the feedback form for this session to gain the certificates.